Hello, you're welcome onto my channel today once again. I am Dr. Olayinka Conley. I am a lecturer in the university. I am a sociologist. I'm a researcher. I'm a life coach. I'm a public speaker and I'm an author. So today in this channel and in this video, I want to address another very important topic in sociology. In fact, this is one of my most, interesting topic, topics in sociology, and I'm actually uh, very excited to give you this lecture today. Meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe and tell others about this channel. And if you are subscribed, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'll be addressing social stratification in this video. Social stratification is a very, central topic in sociology because of the implication it has for human behavior and human society. Sociologists are very much interested in order and human behavior and patterns of human relationship and the implication they have for the society. Social stratification is that issue that is just speaking generally, within the context of social inequality. Sociologists want to understand the nature, the pattern, the processes and consequences of social inequality in society. This means when people have differential access to values or resources in society. Meanwhile, there's another video on this channel on social inequality. You need to view that video because that will then assist you to have full view of social stratification and full understanding of what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Kindly stay to the end, watch to the end so that you understand what. So, it's just social stratification is a key element of social inequality in society, and we believe that all societies have a measure of social inequality. So to the extent that people are placed in different categories, different strata in society based on their access to what is considered valuable in that society. And social stratification generally it tries to better explain social inequality in terms of hierarchy or hierarchies in different societies. So, and that is why you have to know that social stratification and even social inequality exists in different societies. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about the United States or you're talking about Canada, you're talking about Germany or Japan or even Africa, or even the United Kingdom, Australia. It doesn't matter the level of development or underdevelopment that you believe you're looking at, that if you look carefully, you will find some structures and elements of social inequality and stratification in that society. Meanwhile, social stratification is a metaphor for a hierarchical organization of people in society, into different strata in the society. So this stratification actually is a metaphor we adapt into sociology from geology. When we talk about rocks in geology, we believe they have different layers, they have different strata. So is this geological, formation that we try to compare the structure of society in terms of hierarchical organization of people into different strata is against the background of the structure of rock as given to us by geologists that we then try to adapt in sociology. So it's a social stratification. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphorical, system, or structure or concept. So social stratification means hierarchical organization, hierarchical placement of people into different layers, different strata, in society based on their possession or their access to what is considered valuable in that society. So that's the simple way you can define social stratification. And it's the flip side of this is social mobility, which I will talk about in the next video. So be on the lookout. So they are like, you know, they are related. So when you see stratification, you must talk about mobility. But I will not want to bother you so much in this video with too many things. So I'll do another video on social mobility. So be on the lookout. It will come immediately after this. So a hierarchical organization of people, one on top the other, based on their access to resources. So generally, you may look at social stratification as an abstract concept, but it has practical implication that you can see everywhere around you, front, right, left, and center, and back. So you see consequences, you see manifestation of stratification around you, but sometimes people don't pay attention. But we sociologists, we are very interested in all of this so that we can understand human behavior. You look around you in the United States, or even in India, even in Africa, in Asia, it doesn't matter where you are, you will see some elements of stratification in that society. So it's an abstract, you know, you may say abstract, you can't touch it, you can't see it, but you can feel it everywhere. If you look carefully with your sociological mindset, sociological imagination, you will see consequences of this, and it affects people. It affects their life chances. Life chances means to what extent they can achieve their goals and their dreams in practical terms. So sociologists were very much interested in this to understand the structure, the dynamics, the patterns, the systems, the consequences of this social stratification, so we can better explain why people behave the way they do. So when people are ranked based on different criteria, these criteria must be described on values, based on values. It can be money, some people may be rich, some people may be poor. A rich man, if you value money or economy in that society, a rich man definitely may occupy higher position, you know, position of privilege, while a poor man or a poor person may occupy a lower position, it's a position that is not privileged, generally speaking. It may be on power. The powerful person, maybe in government, may be ranked as more influential. When you're talking about an influential person, for example, you're already talking in terms of stratification. That this person is influential, he's powerful. So you accord the person higher respect, higher prestige. You get what I mean? So and when it can be in terms of birth, occasion of birth, which family are you born to? It can be on occasion of ancestry, it can be on occasion of education. If you're educated, you have a PhD, or you're a professor, the tendency is to see the individual as an intellectual, and the person is seen to be occupied. But it depends on the society. That's the most important thing I want to tell you. It depends on the society you have and what you value in that society. You know, if you value fame, definitely a famous person, a celebrity, may be seen as somebody that is occupying a higher position. So, but you have to know that social stratification is society-wide. It's all over the world. It's not limited to maybe a country or society. Every society has some element of social stratification, and this is very important. But you must know in terms of characteristics that social stratification, in terms of characteristics now, social stratification is a social reality, is real in every society. Then it's also dynamic characteristics. Now, number two is dynamic. It changes. It's not static. People may be able, the structure, the processes, the patterns, the systems may change over time. And you have to bear this in mind. It's consequential. Number three, it has consequences for society. It has consequences for the way people are seen or perceived. It has consequences for how people behave. It has consequences for life chances of people. It has consequences for capacity, even the mental health of people. It has consequences for social order. It has consequences for social development. So it has consequences for social stability. So it's very consequential. There's an abstraction, maybe an abstract concept, but it has tangible consequences that you can see all around you. So it's very important. So it's dynamic, it can change based on changes in society that you find yourself. So there let me now talk about systems of stratification. We have two fundamental systems of stratification. We have open societies in terms of stratification, and we have closed societies in terms of stratification. There are societies that believe that once you occupy a particular stratum of society, or if you occupy a particular position in society, you cannot change your position in that society. So in these societies, you are born into that stratum or that layer, you grow in that place and you die there. You cannot change your layer. These are called closed society. That is, there is no social mobility. You cannot move up and down the social hierarchy in that particular stratification method. But we also have open system. Open system means you can change your stratum, you can change your layer, you can change the position you occupy on the social hierarchy, which is social stratification, based on achievement. So these societies that have open system of stratification are called open society. So in open society, they practice what we call class system. That class system means it's meritocratic. People can change their class based on hard work and achievement of values. If you have education, then your status means your social position, that you occupy in that society. Social position, are you in higher status or lower status? So the status in open society is based on achievement. If you achieve what we consider valuable in that society, then you can change your class. And if you lose what is considered valuable, you can lose your class. But if you achieve what is considered valuable, you can move your class upwardly. So achievement is very important. You don't occupy a class based on your birth. You can be born into that class, but you're sustaining that class or changing that class depends on how you are able to continue to achieve based on that. So we consider that as merit, but there are deeper analysis that say even class system are not entirely meritocratic and be based on your network at the same time. But in principle, we believe that in class society, you can move. So most countries in Europe, or most countries across the world are actually open. United States, Canada, all EU, Britain, all these places are considered open because anybody can be anything. You can move up, you can move down. But closed society are usually considered we call it caste system. Caste system open societies are usually regarded as class system. Closed societies, we consider them caste system. They are closed, that is, people cannot move, people inherit their status, unlike in class system where you work to achieve your status. So people inherit status and their social position on the structural system. And people in low class, the lower part of the caste, live in abject poverty, they are disempowered. So the status in caste system or closed system, rather than being achieved as it is in a class system, we call it ascribed. The status is ascribed. In class open system, it is achieved, but in caste system, it is ascribed. It's based on your occasion of birth or ancestry, and you are stuck in that position. But this caste system is also becoming very outdated. It used to be, India used to be the fundamental example that is used in analyzing caste system. But even India has officially dismantled the caste system. So anybody can be anything in India now. But if a situation you must notice that it was the consequences. The case system existed for many years, even officially. But even the dismantling of the case system, we still have some consequences, some remnants of case system, even in some of those places. So, as I want to round off this video, you have theories of stratification. But these theories of stratification can easily be classified into two in terms of theories of stratification. We have the economic model of Karl Marx. The Marxian analysis describe stratification as being based only on the economy, possession of a means of production. That is your economic possession or your position, ability to possess means of production determines the position you occupy on the social hierarchy. That is, if you own the means of production, if you have productive capacity, you automatically occupy the higher class. But if you do not have the means of production, which is essentially capitalistic, essentially economic, definitely you become a proletariat. You occupy the low position. But if you have the means of production, then you become a bourgeois. You occupy the bourgeois class. The bourgeois class, you become a bourgeois. You occupy higher class. You occupy higher class. So if you don't, it doesn't matter what you do. If you don't have the means of production, you occupy lower class. So for economy, for Karl Marx, the owners of means of production are the only one that occupy higher class, and they're usually very few. On the pyramid, the triangle, the top, very small. So most people then occupy the lower class. They become what is called the proletariat. So the laborers who sell their labor. So and only a few will be able to have what Karl Marx called the means of production. So it's only the economy that determines the class, and the class struggle continues. But a later theorist, Max Weber, actually argued with Karl Marx that no, it's not only ownership of means of production that determines the status or the position of people on the social hierarchy. Rather, Max Weber believed in multi-dimensional approach to analysis of stratification. That is, you cannot say, unlike Karl Marx, that it's only the ownership of means of production. That you may not have means of production, but you may have. So for Karl Marx, there are just two layers on the social stratification. That is, the haves, those who have the means of production, and the have-nots, those who don't have the means of production, who are the poor, the exploited. So you have the rich, the small rich, the majority poor, only two classes. But Max Weber posited that no, you can have many classes, higher, upper, or you can even have lower, middle, top, lower. You can have middle, up, middle, lower. So that means you can have many classes depending on the structure of that society and what is considered valuable. You may not have means of production, you may have charisma. You may not have power, in terms of political power, but you may have economic power. You may not have this power at all, but you may be handsome. So if they value good looks in that place, you may occupy higher class. And if you have education, but you are not rich, you don't have means of production, you may still occupy some classes. You may not be rich, but you have traditional power, or you have charismatic power, or you have talent. You may not be a professor, but you may be a basketballer in the US and you are earning a fat salary, or you may be a footballer and you are earning a fat salary. So you may occupy higher status. So Weber gave a more dynamic, a broader perspective in terms of multi-dimensional analysis of stratification. Unlike Karl Marx that gave rigid, just two classes based on means of production. Ownership of means of production. But Max Weber gave multi-dimensional categorization or analysis of stratification. That is, there can be many classes and many values, many criteria that can help people to be placed in different classes, unlike the rigid means of production analysis of commerce. So these are two broad theoretical perspectives, theories or perspectives for us to understand how we can explain, how we can analyze social stratification. I do sincerely hope you have benefited something from this video on stratification. I will drop another one on social mobility, which will be a flip side of it. If you are not subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel and tell others. Thank you very much, and see you in my next video.